I've got to wipe the sweat from my head as I'm like running back and forth to try and get it before the next game starts and get into it. But we are here for the third and final game of the day. One more game of Erangel is coming your way. And I'm really interested to see if 4AK can keep up this success. It's not massive, like huge point games, but good placements, kills alongside it. Both games back-to-back so far. And there is still enough games where they could creep their way up here. Just because they're in 14th now doesn't mean it's the end of the world just yet.
We only just reached the halfway mark, right? I mean, we've seen them have crazy games before, and them continuously getting into the late game today means they've found something that works for them. And I mean, alongside Zoekt Een Naam, they had that southern rotation. They understood the playing field and how all the teams were maneuvering around. They took the wiser decision. That's what got them into that. Into that final couple of circles. So impressive feat and keep it going. And well, there's a pretty good chance they can get out of that bottom 12.
And that's it, right? Because you've got the way you explain the blocks, right? You've got the two teams at the bottom, which is 4AK and I forget the last team's name. We Need a Home. There we go. And then you've just got like another chunk of 6 teams. Then you've got the 4 teams and then the 4 teams. So it's very grouped together. But you've got to achieve one hurdle, then the next, and then continue to go further. And it's certainly not going to be easy. But we're looking at this plane that's coming in, and this is, again, a bit fairer. The question is, are we going to go all the way out west again, Toby? Can we get 3-4-3?
Yeah, let's hope for a bit of variation. That is always good. I don't mind crazy, but variation is always nice. Winside, they're going to jump out early. They don't want to try and fly all the way down towards Fairpiers. They'll settle for Sarki, seems at least so. Besiktas, they'll go back down towards South George. Quickmath, we got up in the usual area. Seems like 4AK will be going towards the Alba Kameshki. That's nothing new either. So overall, not a whole lot of surprises here to start off that final game of the day. But of course, we always got to keep in mind that there's a chance with this circle, wherever it does decide to go, that things could get pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy has been the name of the game today. Hopefully things will turn around when we get onto this circle. About 30 seconds to go before we find out where it pops. No real crazy changes going on here just yet. Moonwolf will grab Novo. Northern Lights in military as always. Winside have got Zaki, which will mean we'll see North George for Avangar. Besiktas will take South George. Se7en getting themselves Milta Power. They're well aware that Avangar are now not opting to go there.
But it's interesting because Se7en, I mean, first game they fought, or they didn't really fight, but they were landing with Avangar. And we were arguing that was because the plane didn't really up for them to go Rozhok. This time around, the plane went straight through Rozhok, but they didn't want to go there, and they went Milta Power instead. So pretty interesting that they decide to value Milta Power over going Rozhok. But I guess that's maybe something to do with them getting pinned in down there with all these teams around them. They got punished by Zoekt Een Naam last game on their rotations. And honestly, I mean, they're normally that Pachinki team, right? They're the ones to sit there and shoot at people driving. And then maybe they're just not comfortable with being a center team.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. As the circle will see us more further over towards this eastern side up north. Though Stauber and Kameshki are within it, and 4AK, they'll be pretty happy with this one.
You know what? If I was Desperados, right, I would sign a player called Measures. Just because he was Desperado Measures.
I like that. I'll take that one. That's a good one.
Maybe if I change my name, I can become a pro player. Just pick up my name, you think? I could at least be the mascot. At least a mascot. At least a mascot.
I'm glad you said mascot rather than... I was going to go with coach, and then you said mascot, so
I'll do the mascot. I'll do mascoting. Yeah, that's fine. I'll stick with that. It's just fun and laughs. Ain't nobody got mascots in PUBG. That could be a thing, though.
Maybe at the Super Duper Global Finals.
Super Duper League Globe Finals. Yeah, exactly. That's where we'll get all the mascots.
Every team has like a mascot that's like dressed up like a teddy bear.
Royale. Like in the center of the stage, you just have to fight each other until only one stands left. This is getting too dark. This is getting too dark.
I was going to say they could have a dance-off, because, mascots do the dancing and cheering.
Yeah, so that's better. We'll stick with that.
Yeah, I'll go the nicer route for once. Finally, you've taken a dark turn here, so I'll reel us back in on this one.
We'll take the dance-off. Sounds good to me. And Zoekt Een Naam, hopefully what they'll do is take a lot of points with them this game, because, again, keep saying it, but that's because it keeps happening. Now, last game they did manage to get themselves in 4th place, so that was all good. And clearly, the way they rotate, the way they play it, proves that they have the knowledge and the skill set needed to win games. They just haven't really found their way into a lot of end games over this last week we've just been through.
I'm just imagining mascot teddy bears with like team logos on them, break dancing, shaking some moves, twerking.
And the team gets a point if they win.
That'd be good. Point per dance-off win.
the loading screen.
It would be the organisation with the most money just buying some like elite dancers that have done like backing dancing for I don't know. What's a popular music person?
Britney Spears.
There you go. That'll do. Is she still alive?
Super popular. I do not know. Me and popular music. That's not the duo. Oh, I like that 180 though, Max. So,
Star points.
Your Uber has arrived.
He's doing the John Wick I'm here. Let's kill them all.
That's what you should say if you're a face. Your Uber has arrived. That's a bad joke. Sorry. I'm sure that's been said once or twice throughout the PEL cast, and other casters they like to make jokes that are. I think I can go out on a limb here and say as bad as mine, sometimes at least.
Wow, so you're really setting the bar low.
I'm sure that one has been pulled off at least once before.
Someone's gonna go and clip it for you now and be like, "Yep,
yes, it happened there, this day, and then this day." Zoekt Een Naam, we talked about them before. They got their rotation going, and now, as you can see here as well, 7 they've started rotating too. And honestly, I mean, it's one of those things where sure everybody plays their competitive games, their practice games, and they play during the day, and everybody knows the map inside out. It's just if you can get used to rotate out of one spot, it makes things so much easier for you, especially if it's through one tournament. If you through the same tournament change up over and over and over again, it's not going to help you at all. And those 7, they haven't really been that many different places, but now that they start, at least for me, seemingly wanting to commit to multi-power off of the game they had here, let's hope for them that it's going to work out.
Yannick looking to upset some of the Winside players here. Gifted Roo slowing down and now leaving himself an open target for these shots, but it's too far away. Yannick will keep them at bay, but he won't find himself any knocks or kills within it. But considering he's the only player from PG18 there, it's kind of a good thing that he was able to keep him away, because had they rolled up on him, he would have been in for a pretty horrible start of the game.
See all the rotations coming in. Desperados and Tornado Energy once again rotating side by side. They rotate, or they loot someone close to one another, and they have similar timings on their rotations, and that means that they do tend to drive real close to each other, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of confrontations between the two just yet. Fortunately, Besiktas and Quickmath, they were side by side too. And I was just thinking real quick, the whole 7 thing with them changing this much. You know, if the word like midlife crisis, maybe it's the midway crisis in PUBG. Like now we've hit the halfway point of the tournament. It hasn't worked the way we wanted to. Maybe it's about time that we change things up. You know?
Well, I agree with it, but also I think, imagine this. We spoke about how highly they performed in the Kickoff Cup against teams who are arguably a higher skill in terms of where they're ranked, right? In terms of the Pro League and stuff. That's where it's pretty crazy and scary, because they're in their heads probably thinking, well, what's not working now? We shouldn't be this bad. And then that's when you do start to make changes and stuff that may not actually be the right changes for you at the time. But only time will tell. As Moonwolf, they're going to go across. McCann's looking for this, so they'll allow the first one across. Maybe try and pick off the final player. Fex is on the other side as well. Good attempts for some crossfire. Oh, Erangel heavily under pressure. Shots come out towards him. He goes and just dives down, and Fex is just like, okay, you can go. I'll take a few shots, but you can just stay there, mate.
Let's skip that one, says Fex as he misses all the bullets. That's unfortunate. But I really like the setup. You can see Washout turning around and trying to come back and help. Hamster was actually down on the edge of this beach as well. They're just trying to hold up all the different rotations out. Bjorn's taking shots over towards him, though. And all of a sudden, things are potentially turning around here.
Bit of a scrappy fight between these two teams. A lot of missing going on here. Fex is not able to land the shots, and Washout, he'll capitalize on it. That's huge. Now Bjorn could be isolated. We can see Hamster's coming to try and help him out here. McCann doing long-range distance damage. Going to try and get the nade off towards them. It's Resu on the floor. Occo close by, but that nade might be a little bit too far away. Bjorn trying to get the job done as well, and Hamster's going to play the long distance, but Occo, he finds McCann and Moonwolf. They're not done. They want more kills coming in here, and they're able to do a lot of damage onto Gamerlegion.
Despite fighting this one off, Moonwolf's got to be thinking to himself, what in the world is Gamerlegion of all teams doing over here on this side of the map at this point? But they were rotating in south. Ooh, good shots connected there. Nice. No, not coming in. That could have been a clutch one for them to get, because that would have left Bjorn all by himself. But not going to be the case. Washout is actually going to get taken down. That's one more connected to the chest. And Bjorn alive and alone, at least for now. He's doing everything he can to stay put, but it's not going to work much longer.
One flush in, neither team inside the circle. This just does not benefit them. Gamerlegion get picked apart. Educos landing all of those shots, and they're now out in 16th. So you went from 14th to a win to 16th. And I don't understand this, right? Because my issue I have here with Gamerlegion is you saw what happened. You saw him go past. You committed to this so hard, but also Hamster was nowhere near. Bjorn was still far away. Like, What was their end goal?
They had everything set up, at least the way that I saw it, to get that first kill. Because Hamster was sitting on the next side, being, okay, so if we don't get them, we'll force them to rotate down on the beach, and then he's going to be the second wave to shoot, right? But new circle pops, and well, I mean, Moonwolf, they'll get a little bit of a journey to go through in order to make it here. And there's still plenty of different scenarios we can roll into here. Yasnaya ending, we can go into the fields, we can go into the forest north of Mansion. Plenty of opportunities.
Give me Yasnaya.
Everybody will hate you.
They already do, so it's something I'll come to terms with. I'll just handle it right now. Actually, do you know what I say? It's quite nice. So last week, while you guys were commentating, obviously, and getting on with the show, I got a few tweets from people. They were like, "Oh, are you coming back to PUBG?" I was like, "Yep, I'm not leaving. Don't worry." Including some of the Vinco players. They were like, "We didn't hear you," and I'm like, "Don't worry. I just had a week off. I'm coming back."
I paid them to do that, by the way.
That's all right. Made me feel good, so I'll take it. Your money well spent. My ego boosted. Confidence has been found.
A team that has had a little bit of a struggle here in the final game, or the last game at least, is Quickmath. Ooh, 2-0. Senses the bullets coming swimming in towards him. And fortunately, got to move out there.
It's a very strong door.
I was gonna say, when is it gonna break? I think there is some sort of damage over distance thing in PUBG, because I've had the same thing happen before. You can see the wheel clearly pops off.
Yep.
But I think it's damage and distance and doors and immortality and I don't know.
Someone's trying to break into my house. That's the door I want. The one that can take all of those shots.
They have to try and break into it from like 150 meters away. That's the only rule for the door to work that way.
Stretch Armstrong, stretch legs. I don't know. Big kick.
Yeah. That is...
Well, getting excited about the Deagle play coming in eventually as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a thing in competitive PUBG.
No, it's.
I don't know if that's a discussion we should have now, but it being, I mean, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good addition to the game to have some sort of viability in pistols. But again, we can say, I mean, you want to have the third weapon, sure. We can also see Asterin take down one player. That's a good break for Avangar, getting themselves some kills. They've had a rough patch today. But to go back to the Deagle thing, that's what people said with the Scorpion. That's what people said with the Glock and all that being an automatic pistol. But how many players do we realistically see have a third weapon in PUBG right now?
Yeah.
Do you ever see anyone with a Glock at any point, even though it's an automatic weapon and arguably pretty decent up close?
Only if they just never have like an option.
Or if they just landed, right?
Yeah, like it's either when they've just landed or you know where like they're carrying it with them because they get into a crazy firefight and they're like, oh, we have to put it out. But we've seen it maybe once or twice over the entirety of the first phase and second phase.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just like the idea of rolling around with Deagle and then popping people's head and kicking doors in.
But it's not the CS:GO Deagle. It's not a one shot.
It's not a.
It's two headshots to a level 2 helmet.
When I was reading it, I was like, come on, just make it super OP. Just give us the dream.
Come on, just break the game. That's what we want to have.
Just give it, like I don't know, make it like really hard to control or something. Like
it
you have
is
to, like,
already
one shot
it
really
is already
far away.
Yeah.
But give me the one tap ability.
Maybe you can. It two taps close, but it one taps from a 200-meter distance.
I'm down with that. That'd be a 6. Imagine if you
kind
could land
of
that.
opposite, right? Ooh. But just for the memes, everybody will be standing at 200 meters with a Deagle with a 6x on it.
And because you had 6x on it as well.
No,
Jesus.
you can't.
Could you imagine?
That would be fun, though. New circle is about to pop. We've talked our way through this entire one. Imagine the black eye you'd get from the blowback
like
there as well.
You just punch off your face. Take a shot with the Deagle.
You only get 2 bullets in your life. One for one eye, one for the other. Circle though pops and seems like the Yasnaya ending is not going to happen unless we get some crazy northern hardships. But then again, I mean, we have talked about things that seem unlikely coming into play. But what does seem likely here is a whole lot of open ground. Mansion is available. We don't have anyone in the forest on the eastern side either. And then we currently had, I was going to say, the lobby, or the to-be museum, I guess we can call it, down where Melman is, with the Erangel 2.0 coming towards us ever so much closer.
Moonwolf going to be very happy though. They came in from the south a bit later. Now the circle's gone slightly more towards them. Didn't exactly benefit them. 7 still with 4 players up in it. And at this point, we'd already seen a lot more players dead. Not so much teams out of it, but like we were getting to the 16-minute mark and having like 40 players alive, 45 players alive. So it's a bit of a slower turnaround this one because we're getting a nicer circle overall.
I'm surprised actually because I always saw Se7en Esports take over Mansion. I'm surprised Moonwolf didn't make a move earlier. They had 2 players with high ground positions where they could scout out into the fields, and I know they lost a player and all that, but they could have taken more control here. They have Echikos out into the Kinquin dip, and they have Resu and Arco arguably outside of the circle. I mean, if this next one's hardships anywhere but where they are right now, that's going to be them in for a really rough rotation.
Well, in Paw Patrol, they say rough, rough rescue. This is going to be the rough, rough rotations.
That's what you get for having a kid.
Yeah.
A good reason to watch kids shows.
Mate, kid shows are amazing.
I know.
That's why...
I get to watch them without being a kid. See. Maybe not Paw Patrol, but...
Yeah, about to say, I don't think that would entertain you all that good.
And Zelenso, he's going to go down. We need a home, finally finding one. And well, at least for now, Mise, I was going to say it's alive, but not so much anymore. Polterric is there for the finish off, and Quickmath yet again under pressure.
And this is what I'm starting to worry with Quickmath. We spoke about them being the passive team. They've changed up the style. You said they were a bit more aggressive last week. They started things off aggressive today as well. But it's not benefiting them yet. They're still falling short when it comes down to it.
Nemerith now with an off angle here. PG got themselves a win in the first game. And, well, I mean, at least for now, nailed him. 0 points in. They have a position to play from, but it's not going to reach. You can see every time he's peeking over that rock, 4AK immediately there to apply pressure from the city.
On 4AK, they're looking to have another good game again here. Nice positions to fight from. They're in the circle, but they've got all the other teams around them. They're not directly inside of Yasnaya in terms of the real big cluster of compounds there. So they've got the view that they want here to challenge some of these other teams. PJ18, though, they're completely pinned down, and, well, it's not going to be looking good for them very soon. We're only 2 alive already. Zen, they've been quiet so far, but this is what we normally expect from them until the next circle pops, and then they'll start to push in most likely. They've got the 2-2 split going on, which means they've got a lot of control over towards this south and the western side.
It's a wide split too, and they can do it because they're so far on the edge, they're not anticipating anyone to actually try and commit to those sort of buildings. But for now, I mean, I guess T-Bone and Mask are going to be in, but do you really want to hard commit down there, or do you want to maybe send a player over to the other side of the road down into the dip up by just southeast of where Perfectix is? There's a bit of a dip you can play from there.
Sprays coming in, Kravik trying to land it, trying to catch some of these teams rotating across. Winside will avoid it for now, but is there a setup further down the line? More teams taking shots. Azram will find Havoki of 4AK, which is now actually we're seeing Avangar get active and it's going in their favor. Normally, this past 2 games, we've just used to be seeing Avangars come up and then Avangar go down.
Exactly. They're still alive, but they're all inside of Yasnaya, and they will, of course, need to get out of there at some point. And somehow, too, Page and Ivel, they wanted to get out as well, but it's not going to be easy. Besiktas has found them on their rotation, and Tomlin secures the finish up on towards the in-game leader for Zoekt Een Naam. Not an easy turn of events, because Page has just been left all by himself with Vasco and T-Bone nowhere near.
In terms of compounds that are left within the circle, all are occupied. Moonwolf running up onto the 2-man stack of Zen down in this south, and they're just being ripped apart. They're actually being destroyed. Oko on the floor, headshots have come in, and Zen, they're holding on. They're picking up these extra kills, and Moonwolf are going to be regretting every decision they've just made. Vasquez's not done yet. You can see it in the bottom screen here.
He did manage to get control of the house race, and it's a 1v2, so it's doable, but it ain't going to be easy.
These nades coming out towards him is going to make it very hard. He's going to be pushed around. He will be staying up, at least for now, but Vasco trying to do it, and no, the team nade comes in. T-Bone, this is not how it's supposed to be done, and this is where Zen have to be careful, because quite easily, if Resu wanted to, he can get involved, because remember, the other 2 Zen players are quite far away.
Resu needs to react on this. He must have seen the knock come in as well. Now he's pushing down the stairs. He threw the nade to obscure the audio. T-Bone has to go away from it, and fortunately, he gets to live through that one. That would have been a blunder. And then some. Of course, it's hard with multiple nades thrown into a building, but that would have been extremely tough. Avangar committing to the push, and they do get the elimination in on towards no tag team. And Noctiv proving strong there, getting himself all the kills.
And this is what it's about when you are a team like Avangar, bouncing back, coming back stronger into these games, and they've brought the aggression out earlier than what expected. Now PJ team find themselves out of it. So many teams dropping on this rotation.
Yeah, a lot of the compounds and areas available were being excluded. Yasnaya being one of them. We still have yet to completely exclude Mansion. You can see Se7en wanting to hold the angle, and he does get the knock on towards Buster. Great effort in getting the headshot in there, but Edelweiss and Frank, they're still alive. Edelweiss is up there, and Se7en caught in the heat of him being outside in the open, gets taken down.
No hope at all for them. 7, they've come back into this and they're saying, we want to take these fights, we want to take these duels. Otherwise, he spotted him out. Hjort takes a lot of damage his way, but it's evenly given back.
Gotta start running, Idle. You gotta start running. His circle 4, it's gonna start hurting. And you need to get your butt inside that circle. Of course, they're close by already. He does get the first aid off, though. Now Clip trying to come around the corner. Wants to get the points in as well. Does manage to do so. But Edelweiss is there with the finish. 4 points secured for 7. But now they're down to just 1 player.
Yeah, he's all alone, and it did cost them everything. They had 4 kills in total. And the backflip, he might want to go off in style, but he's thinking, maybe I'll just try and get into top 8 still and then do it, because I want the extra points.
That sounds like the words of a pro player.
We just like the chaos, mate. We just like the fun. Lipsin, though, look at Lipsin's position. Sees him around the side, and 7, it was all for nothing. They managed to get the kills, but they can't get the placement points alongside it. 10th place is all they will achieve, and we need a home. They heard, and they saw it all, and they just waited patiently as soon as they heard that bite coming in. Oh, wow. Max is always like, thanks, yeah, that's my easy dream. Oh, no, that's not my easy dream, because then Ultra tries to get involved in it. He instantly gets flushed out of it. Avangar and Besiktas, the duo team that fight over and over again. Similar rotations, similar styles, and these 2 teams meet more than any other. As Desperados, they're on the other side, they can see what's going on, and they're saying, well, anything you can do, we can do better, and we've got the circle benefit, which means you need to come to us. But at the same time, Northern Lights are there. There are so many teams over towards this western side.
A 4-way cluster as everybody wanted to chime in on the same exact fight. What a hell of a chaotic situation. Tornado Energy is still inside the circle, are sitting well in. They're trying to take control. Vasco and T-Bone, they've made their way up and forward as well. Then we need a home, a current last place team trying to stay put, but have a tough run to make through the open.
And it is going to be a very tough run. It is completely open. There is 2 compounds within this. No, 3 compounds within this. Tornado have 2 of them. Desperado have the other one.
Yeah, and they're both equally far out on the edge. Odds are neither of them will be inside on the next circle. It's not going to make things easy whatsoever. Got to give it to 4AK, though. You complimented them early. They're trying to make their way in, but right now it's Rita and Rip landing all the shots.
And look how far Northwest has just been downed. He's right at the north.
Rest.
North, rest, up in the north, not going to get rezzed. Where else can I go with it?
DJ Banks. I don't know. Havoki, he's, I mean, you can see here they're trying to use those smokes as best as they can. They know they ain't going to last forever, so get all the info and all the vision you can while you have him up and land the shots you need to make some room for yourself. Rip goes down, try to flank around. Rita's going to be the next one to run, but we need a home. They're sitting in last place right now, and 7 kills already. That's a great break for them.
Yeah, this is the 15th and 16th place teams fighting off against each other. 4AK have had a good day today, but we need a home. They're looking to turn that around. Up at 7 kills already. The smokes are trying to provide them with some cover, but neither of these teams are directly in the circle just yet. That's the problem here.
They wanted to find a new angle towards getting into that circle. Rita, can she get around the back corner here, potentially get in run? He didn't see her. Now shots are being fired over in her direction, and that's going to be Lipson down first. Rita's still alive, prone behind the tree, but should not be allowed to stay there much longer.
And 4AK, they just want to go for this. They smell the blood, and they are on the hunt. But at the same time, lots of other teams have been able to hear and see this all go down. Rita, completely alone. Lipson dies on out the zone, will grab him. Havoki does get the point.
And that's the thing, how much do you really want to commit to getting this 1 kill? Because in all honesty, I mean, they have a transition to make, and going in this direction now, I'm not sure is the correct one to do.
Desperado, they're looking to try and make this one theirs. They're now challenging Northern Lights, and they're finding themselves 2 knocks to start things off with. Rita trying to hide up as much as possible. Still able to do some nice damage, but can't find the knocks coming in there. And at the same time, Avangar, they found Havoki, he was left on his own. So 4AK, they overcommit just to Rita, and they find themselves in a tough position as these nades go out and Winside go down in 8.
Havoki was trying to hold the backside angle, and him going down forces 4AK back. So Winside blown to pieces. Those vehicles grant you lovely cover, but if they ain't exploded yet, those nades will do it, and that's gonna, well, I mean, at least more often than not, mean that you go out with them. Unactive from a distance. 1 more tap should do it. Nope, not gonna happen. 7 kills though for Avangar. Great spin around, turnaround for them as well here.
7 kills, only 2 alive. Ronnie goes out of it. Nixties has been spotted. More shots coming off towards him. Unactive hungry to do further damage here. He's got the 8 times with it as well, which gives him such a good vantage point to take these fights from. Rita's still hanging on to the side, so she managed to stay alive throughout all of this, which is insane, because she had 4AK all chasing her down, and then Avangar came into the fight, and 4AK were like, wait a second, we forgot all about the other teams. We completely tunnel visioned, and we paid the price for it.
Tuck spotted out Rita back there, and for now at least Tuck has more important things to be looking around. But Aaliyah and Comfort from Tornado Energy, they see those bullets fly over the head and they probably look in that direction thinking there must be someone out there, I guess. Now Rita starting the run, but is she going to be close enough to the circle to make it in? Still on her feet, running on forward, finds a new tree to hide behind. It's always good fun, from tree to tree to tree. But there, you're going to hit a point at which there probably aren't any trees left.
We don't want to ever hit that point. That means there'll be no air, we'll all die, the world will end.
That is true.
Trees are life, trees are good.
Yep.
Plant trees.
Plant trees.
Trying to stop global warming out here.
Planting trees is for sure a way to settle that, at least to help it. Next D is going to go down. That's going to be 4AK out in 7th, but keeping all the 3 games today within placement points is a pretty good feat from them. And you can see Rita trying to embrace the Tornado Energy spirit and saying, do you have room for one more? Can you just kill everyone and then I'll surrender myself to you in the final circle?
She's actually got not a bad position to play off of because this little dip's going to help her. She prones now and she is just inside the circle. So all things considered, it hasn't worked out too badly. Tornado, the only team with 4 players left up in it. Desperado, they've had a good game overall. They've been able to do a lot of damage from multiple different angles here. But now they're going to start and try and grab control of this circle. Perfectix, Northern Lights there. He's with the other solo player in it. On the opposite side to Rita. But she's going to be found. Tornado get the job done and we need a home. Well, they're going to be going out in 6th place.
Does get spotted out. Goes to show that the Tornado players never take anything for granted. You got to be constantly 360ing like a mad person and making sure no sneaky snakes are coming in from angles you weren't expecting them from. Another player on Octave, I mean, he's doing this all the time. We see it so many times. Whenever we highlight Avangar, he's always the one to look through literally every single bush around them and say, okay, this one's clear. This one's clear. This one's clear. Whenever he's done looking around, he goes back to the first one again.
There you go. Perfectix found by Zen. Still only 2 players up for them, but they've been able to do a lot of damage down on the southern side.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy with how that worked out for them. Northern Lights, though, can't end the game as strong as they probably would have wanted. They had the opening good game, but other than that, it's been pretty quiet from them.
Desperado's got 3 guys up and alive as well. Tossera ran down earlier on, and they still have a pretty decent spot with the majority of the roadside to play with too, so they should be in for a good one, depending, of course, on how and how many they these players that let cross.
No, I love this, right? Tornado taking shots against Zen, who are trying to push up on the south. But this is alerted Avangar from all the noise that's been had there, and this feels like they want to try and get into it. Tornado need to be careful, because if they are fighting on too many fronts, then everyone else is going to focus on them, and their huge advantage in numbers is going to go against them.
And the thing for Avangar as well is, I mean, they cannot let these players cross. They need to keep them on the other side. They need to really make it work for them. So Zoekt Een Naam out in 4th place yet again. 2 good placements following one another. That's, of course, the type of place we've been used to see earlier from them. So great turn of events. Ooh, that nade is right on the money. Comfort goes down. And by this anyway, even though it does go down, it's going to force Tornado Energy to cross on over.
And see, this is where Desperado, they straight away start to move around. They've gone for a bit more of a central position over towards this western side. They're going to try and push in. Top may be taken down by Tornado, but how long are Tornado going to spend focused on Avangar? Anuctive is already backing away. Tok knows he's going to be done for. The new circle's pretty much centers up, and Desperado are looking super strong. They're in a nice position, and Anuctive can see it. He's aware it's going to be going down soon. Fake sees him from the side. Fake takes him down, and Avangar, they end the final game with a 3rd place.
Example stayed on the southern side of the road, trying to make sure that all his little chickens came over on the other side before Mother Hen made the cross on over. Because that's a thing now, apparently. And an example, not only that, but also managed to get the first knock on it. Now it's a 4v2, very doable for the Tornado Energy side.
New example, leading by example in it. Showing him how to get the job done. Melman starting to push his way around. Nades coming out towards him. Does have to be so careful. Does take a chunk of damage, but he's not finished pushing forward yet. The other 2 players have gone down in the south.
I like it.
They've used the vehicles as well, and they are completely locking Desperado in. Desperado cannot look anywhere or turn to try and fight this. They're going to have to engage very soon. They've left out Calvin Klein. He's had to die out to it, and now you're in a 4v2. Tornado looking strong. They're loud and proud coming into it. Melman's picking up the next knock, and it's all on to Cold Dementor's example. Example, he's driving strong and he looks to get the job done. Example pops out the car and still picks up the kill. It is just chaos on the final fight, but Tornado take it with 11. I love the style points coming out there. That makes me happy to see it. And it would have been even funnier if we actually managed to get him by driving over on the second one as well. Dreams can happen, but it's not going to happen this time around. But Tornado, very well played. That end, if you looked at how they moved around on the map there at the end, that is picture perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're ever witnessing a tornado in PUBG, that's probably something of what it would look like too.
Yeah.
That was pretty chaotic way to finish things off, but in the end, impressive win by Tornado. They kept their side of the road clean. They knew we cannot push over before we have full control of our side. They saw the last Zoekt Een Naam players go down. Boom, that's when they send it. They needed to make sure whenever we cross on over, when we have 2 guys on each side, we cannot have the backside guys start fighting on the on the southern side of the road. We need them to cover our backs as we cross. So great anticipation, great timing for them, and a good win overall. Moonwolf somehow lived through what seemed like a perfect setup from Gamerlegion. They just couldn't pull it off.
So close, yet so far. It's probably what they'll be thinking when it comes into it.
Exactly.
It was a good attempt, but sometimes it goes against you overall. It's just the little moments that things can change him. Avangar got very aggressive across this entire game. Then ended up in 3rd place with 8 kills, which is very respectable, considering how bad the rest of the day had gone for him.
Exactly. That was a good way to finish things off for sure. And also, we're going into Miramar tomorrow, so Avangar, they're not exactly a team that's shying away from getting a lot of kills on Miramar.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It is a bit more open in terms of how that works out, and Avangar do love it. This one as well. When we looked at what Riddle been able to achieve, it's not been crazy games so far today, but they've always still got away with kills.
Yeah. This one has once set it all off. Maxisol arguably got a bit too greedy there to flush him out. He was not really caring too much about whether there were people around. He saw down players, and he went for the finish off, which ended up costing him his life. But for AK, we need to hope both these teams as well. I mean, despite sitting all the way down the leaderboards that they are, they still clearly show us that they know how to maneuver around in circles in situations where they have nothing to work with.
Yeah, they're not giving up in any sense of it. They're still wanting to get involved in all the fights, trying to make it happen. Even soloing up towards the end, Rita managing to grab that 6th place for her team. Northern Lights, though, at least this ending game was slightly better for them.
Yeah, you could argue that for sure. You saw Tornado. They didn't cross. They never crossed. They didn't send Comfort over before they cleared out Zoekt Een Naam too.
Now, this part here was where I was really scared, because if Desperado pushed while this was going on, I feel like Tornado wouldn't have won. Because Tornado did a great job of just taking control and finishing off Avangar, but if Desperado pushed at that point, they were all very in kind of open positions. You can see here, like Fakes out here at the moment, he would have been able to just rush into him. And instead, Tornado, they did manage to hold it, and the best thing they did here was not just a cool car play at the end, but it was the fact that they kept the 2 players on the eastern side and sent 2 down the vehicle. You saw Melman pushing up on foot. He was the one who was kind of being focused fires. He had the AUG in hand, and then everyone else ran round, and they just completely locked Desperado in, who couldn't move anywhere.
Really, really wise rotations and knowledge of terrain, the way they maneuvered around, just boxed them in, as you said as well. Extremely impressive feat from them. And that's things we've been missing, because we saw it in the first week. And then in the second week, they kind of fell down the leaderboards. And now, I mean, they show us constantly, they show us enough that they have what it takes. They just also have too many of those 0-point games.
And that is the problem, because you can have standout games and say, yeah, really well done on this one, lads. But when all your other games of you going out in outside of placement points or just with a couple of placement points and then no kills or just 1 or 2 kills, that clearly just isn't enough.
And the thing is that, I mean, having performances like that, that's going to put you in the top for sure, but you'll never win tournaments off of it. You need to be even, like, it's hard, of course it is, but you need to be even more consistent than that if you want to make it all the way to the top.
And that's what it is all about. But Tornado, they'll be looking very happy after that one.
Oh, yeah.
And Tornado's a team when it comes to Miramar, which have had some very interesting games. So if this is something that can spur them on to do well. Was it Tornado that got the back-to-back where you said I can't count it as back-to-back because of the separate days? Oh, it was Moonwolf that did that. Yep. There we go. So maybe Tornado can try and do that. And
maybe.
We'll argue again if it's back-to-back or not.
Back-to-back on different days, yeah? I'm sure. That could be a thing, yeah? Example, setting a good one at that with 671 damage in this game. And I mean, they were on the southern side. They had that compound for the longest of time. So most of their damage didn't really come in before late. Still goes to show they were able to put up the points needed. 6th place for them now with 182. But Gamerlegion managed to reclaim, I guess you should say, after the second game. Their spot and hold it for a little while longer, at least, with a lot of teams looking extremely hungry.
And Northern Lights and No Tag Team just swapping around consistently between second and third. PJ team will be happy overall. 7, now up to 9th. Getting closer, but still over 20 points separates them and Besiktas. So a long road to go. And then when they get there, even getting close to Desperado is going to be the next hard task. So 7, things need to change quite dramatically for you here, boys, if you want to make this work.
It's not going to be easy. Another thing that's going to be scary to look and follow through is Avangar as well, Moonwolf as well. 2 very high-skilled teams sitting at a tie. Right now, at least, if we were to finish things today, between who makes it through to the potential of making it into the finals and who doesn't. So very interesting, very interesting. And of course, we'll have to live through another 2 crazy weeks of PUBG in order to find out which 4 teams are indeed not going to make it through.
I don't think I'll struggle to make it through this one. I think I can be quite excited off it. I'm excited to see what 4AK can do tomorrow on Miramar.
Do you think it's going to be the same 4 teams we see right now that'll be in the bottom 4 in 2 weeks?
Ooh.
You can't tell, right?
Just from what we saw from 4AK today, I can't even be like, yeah, they're definitely still going to be there, because when We Need a Home just then had a good game as well. Like, there is no... Trying to predict this is not an easy thing in any way, right?
Not at all.
You can try and say, oh, yeah, this is going to work out in their favor, but ultimately, anything can happen. On any given day. It can be any team's chance to make a win. But Toby, we're back. We're done for another day. We will be back tomorrow for you guys. Same time as always, 7 p.m. CEST. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It's been beautiful to be back. There'll be more action coming your way tomorrow. 3 more games, all Miramar, all the way around. Make sure you join us tomorrow.